So, hello, Happy New Year, and welcome to 2020, and welcome to Ripple's Hub, my first recording for 2020. I hope everyone had a great holiday, and so far, New Year has been a blessing to everyone. And thank you for tuning in today to my channel, and I hope that my previous recordings has been a blessing. Please check YouTube for all my previous recordings and keep the word out. We're bringing awareness to mental health, to different things that we struggle with in our homes, in our communities, in our society, taking it worldwide and bringing down the biases that come with it. And like I always say, Ripple Hub, where the focus is, on women, or what we typically struggle with, especially minority women, and how best I, together with my sisters out there, can help each other and support each other and hold each other's hands through the different struggles or different phases that we are in our lives. My last podcast was focused on money and of course, I'm not an expert or anything, but at least talking about it, maybe hopefully will ginger some women out there to get up and say, you know what, I can do this, I can find a way, I can communicate, I can, talk about it, I can find solutions to different things that sometimes can tend to eat us up and cause so many unnecessary headache and heartache and breakdown if only because for knowledge, sets us all free. For the thing that we do not know, we suffer. So I hope that at least with some knowledge that I give out will help somebody out there seek a more understanding, knowledge and more understanding, and comes wisdom and solutions to different troubles. So welcome again to my channel. I'm going to dive in today and for a topic that has really been on my mind. And today's title will be, raising our sons. And I think maybe this comes more so having, two brothers that I grew up with, and also, having strong men around me, including my husband, and also now having to raise a son myself. So it sets me up to think. I was researching a little bit and I came across this that said a new research from Portland State University, research or a study which showed that a large percentage, 70 plus percentage of minority male are labeled as having learning disabilities in schools K through 12 and carrying on into their future or higher education. And it got me thinking, like, what is really going on? There have been times where I have connected with different schools to see how best I can bring mental health to the school, rather than trying to have parents seek help, which sometimes is difficult, especially in, so to speak, low-income communities and kids that are suffering, and parents maybe not having transportation and issues such as that. So I try to rather spend time and see how I can connect with the different schools in the low-income communities and see how I can bring mental health to them and have it accessible for them, because there's such a huge need for therapy, help, medication, whatever, name it. From kids struggling with, different learning disabilities, ADHD, diagnosis of autism, kids struggling with, just defiance, sometimes just defiance, and defiance sometimes just stems from anxiety, home, instability. And kids just don't know how to express fear and anxiety and things that are going on home, and it comes out as defiance and different things, different help that they can get to help them cope and deal and label their feelings, and so they can get through their work, schoolwork and homework, and be able to do it and be successful children and become adults. See, so the research was very mind-boggling, and when I connect with schools like that, many of the students that are labeled, having disability, having issues, can't study, literally failing. And I found that majority of those kids who come to me are male. And I started thinking, I'm like, what is going on? Why are this minority male kids having these issues at such a young age? First grade, second grade. What is really going on? And when I took time to look into it, at the bottom of it pertains to stuff, issues that are happening home, broken homes, financial difficulties. Refer to my previous recording on how financial difficulties can overflow into so many breakdowns in the family. And the family being the piece of the puzzle of what our community is, because 1, 2, 3, many families come together to form a community, and then a society, and then a state, and then a country. So if the family is breaking down, the family is unstable, guess what? The community is unstable. And why do we break it down and allow what the family that forms the community, that forms the state, and we allow the states to now take over our family and dictate what the family should do, what the family should look like? And if the states will dictate where the kids should be and where they should go and how the finances should be allocated and all that. I believe if you're able to make the family stronger and equip women, because women are the forefront of it all. When I see the first evaluations that I do usually, the women are the ones that show up to talk, because they are the ones going to the appointments. They are the ones spending most of the time with the children. Even if they are working, they are the ones spending most of the time with the children. So if we equip the women, and the children are stronger, then the home is stronger, then the family is stronger. And then this labels, especially when it pertains to disadvantaged, minority, immigrant, low-income families, helping those women be strong, I believe will help we as minority be stronger and our future look better and positive. And, I say, is there such a thing as a dysfunctional family? Maybe a little bit, could be, could these kids, because they're having these troubles at home, is it dysfunctional? Well, it will not be dysfunctional because, if you look, Kennedys, whatever, people who have many money, the Hollywood stars, if you look at their backgrounds, there's a lot. Money, class, social class doesn't cut it. Even recently in the news, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, if you listen to what's been going on, even dating back to Princess Diana, and them have to deal with instability, and how we look at how Princess Diana passed away and things that surrounds that, and what has recently been in the news. It just goes to tell you that this instabilities in families and money issues and how it's talked about and how it's allocated and seeking that independence plays a big role in what family should look like and how they come about. So yes, dysfunction can be there, even when it comes to low income, disadvantaged, minority to, billionaires. It can be there, but how it's managed is where it's important, so it doesn't overflow to the children and scar them for life. How it's managed, how emotions are managed at home is so important. So I'm so overexcited to bring services to the schools to help with that and see what is the dysfunction, because there's so many facets to what dysfunction is and what it means and how help can help it and make it better. So I was, really delving into this and talking about sons and how the Bible even talks about, when we equip our sons and the family is great, things are better and men function even better. And how the Bible, really, quote unquote, will say blames the man if the family breaks apart, because the man is supposed to be the head. The man is supposed to be the leadership. So how, when our sons are suffering, are labeled as having disabilities, and these kids come and they're like, no, I can't do this work. I can't finish my work because I'm told I'm disabled. I'm told that I'm labeled. I have a disability, so I can't do it. So they feed into what the label is. So how can we bring down the attachment to labels and making them know that even though you have some difficulties, it's a difficulty. Try and let them know not to feed too much into the labeling and seeing ways to help them. More of a one-on-one approach to help these kids succeed and approaches to disciplining our sons. Because guess what? If not, these kids lack the strength or the mindset that they need to face the world and navigate this world safely and manage their anxiety and fears. Then they start using those anxiety and fear, using different things to numb it. And that's how, research has shown that as they get older and these things are not dealt with, they find ways, whether it's promiscuity, drugs, alcohol, cocaine, marijuana, and then get into all kinds of troubles. And we talk about, jail time. Why are we investing so much money into building more private jails, privatizing jails, and not looking at ways to really find resources for our young generation of men, to find ways to give them support? Because, if you look around, there's not so many men in even therapy, so many men therapists. There are not so many men in church. When you go to church, even majority of the people that go to church are female. What is going on with our sons, with our men? It's killing our family. It's killing our society. How are we raising our sons? I went to the schools and I was so sad and discouraged in this schools, so many. So continue on from where I was, I started off and completing this topic on raising our sons is that, I came up with a couple of, tentative approach or solutions where, I will say we as women, we need to really connect with support system, whether it's church system, home, outside resources, available resources through the state. Seeking help, professional help is really, really important for our sons earlier on when we notice any difficulties in the home, because we don't want to leave the raising of our sons and our daughters in the hands of the school. But home, 90% of the things we deposit in them will literally come from our role modeling from the home, and then they take it to the school and to the communities outside of home. So really seeking help earlier on for the sons, for the whole family, and healing from certain issues, trauma, anger, difficulty financially, whatever it is. Like I said in my previous podcast, financial issues is another big one that eats up the very fabric of family systems. Trauma, past history of trauma is another huge one that really affect we as adult women, men, as parents, that affect our children, affect our sons. Because I believe once our sons, in the future, our sons are okay, our daughters will also be okay. Because when our sons marry or grow up or in a relationship, so to speak, and they are stable, home is stable, right? So, being in denial to what is going on earlier on, it's where it leads to quote unquote dysfunction, lack of trust, lack of confidence, and so many other struggles that men have to, deal with. But men, sons, boys, men in general don't talk. They bottle it up, like I said before, bottling up the pain, the fear, the anxiety at the core of it is what leads to many of our sons, little ones, being labeled as, having a disability. And then with that label comes on difficulty completing tasks at school, failure leading to different things to numb the anxiety, the fear, drugs, alcohol, name it. Then, different behaviors, instabilities, then that leads to, whatever happens, jail time, then falling into the system. And then this is where we are at. There's a crisis, and how the world is right now with the anxiety and panic and everything that's going on around the world now, and everything, the state of affairs in different places, it's even making it worse. The statistics are becoming worse and worse. So seeking help, like I said, for me, and as providers out there, if anybody who's a provider, a professional is listening, bringing the help out to where it's needed, bringing the help to the church, bringing the help to church communities, to schools where the need is, finding ways to give that support and keep it going, connecting with town halls, different towns where you are at. There's so many resources, calling 211, connecting with advocacy group, mentorship groups, so many mentorship groups for young sons to find, because when they have the mentor, someone to look up to, it helps. The whole mentality of strong black women, and we hide in our corners and try to do it on our own. I think we can start to slowly find different ways to find support as women. So when we are in a good place, we can raise our sons to also be in a good place. So some of those are the things that I will say. I'll bring it to light to talk about, healing, home, and finding help in order to decrease the need for this label that is increasingly being put on our as children, most especially our sons. Like I said, the statistics is staggering when I looked at it, and our sons are falling into this, and becomes a revolving door of difficulties and so many places of struggle and hiding the pain in not so much of a good way, because there's so much lack of support for men, and for men to deal with their different struggles and the anger. And when our little sons don't have that, it affects so many different things, broken homes, broken relationships, mistrust, fear, anxiety, leading to, broken communities. And it's crazy. So let's talk about this, raising our sons. This is Ripple Hub coming to you again. Let's get the conversation going. If you've been touched by this topic, you have any suggestions, any questions, any contributions, please let me know. Subscribe, comment, text me, WhatsApp me, Facebook me. That's why I put it out there. It might be very crude in its way, or but this is a start point. So check in again next time, next month. Have another really big topic coming your way, and let's keep the conversation going. Let's decrease the biases. I hope I've been of help. I hope I've tickled your brain to start something new. I hope I've been a blessing. Until then, everybody have a safe and blessed week and new year.